Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Village of Westmont Board meeting for July 23rd. I'm going to call this meeting to order and ask our clerk for roll call, please.
Mayor Nero.
Here.
Clerk Simsky. Here. Trustee Barker.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Pirelli is absent. Trustee Plowman.
Here.
Trustee Scales, absent. Attorney Zemanek.
Here.
Village Manager Gunther.
Here.
And Assistant Village Manager Parker.
Here.
Okay, if everybody could please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing, we do have one request for open forum, so I would like to call up Susan Steinmiller to educate the board and the public on something she's been working real hard on with our friends at the Green Meadow Golf Course County Forest Preserve. Susan, all yours.
Thank you. So 2 months ago, as you remember, Mayor Nero announced that he was upset that our tax monies and funds are going to the Forest Preserve, and we don't have a Forest Preserve in Westmont. So I did some research, and there was no land available. I worked with DuPage County, I worked with our zoning commission, there's none. So I looked at our Forest Preserve golf course. And Bonnie, who I'm sorry she's missing out, we went there on a field trip, and we interviewed about 100 golfers, and we took a tour of the grounds. This is a Forest Preserve golf course that's been around since 1964. They have done absolutely nothing for the Forest Preserve golf course in Westmont. And this is very upsetting to me because I like equality, I like equity. And I know that they spent $12.9 million on the golf course in Addison and another $10 million in Oak Creek golf course. And I'm upset that we have basically a shack. It has 4 tables with 4 chairs on each table. It has no concession stand. You have, you can buy a protein bar, a jerky stick, and some candy and chips. That's your offerings. You have 2 kinds of beer to pick from, 1 seltzer and some soda. That is their clubhouse. Okay? There was no patio furniture or anywhere to sit when we went when you wait for your tee. By the way, I'm not a golfer. But I know our citizens are. And I like the fact that money be invested in our golf course that's supposed to be controlled or taken care of by the Forest Preserve. I want them to take care of it. And so I sat down with Bonnie, with the president of the Forest Preserve, Dan Heberard, and the golf specialist that takes care of all the golf courses in DuPage County. And they reported they plan on doing something for us. Yes, they are. They're going to spend $2 million on the irrigation system in 2 to 3 years. In the meantime, nothing has been planned. No money is planned to be spent on the golf course, and I think it's unfair. And I would like for our board to turn the screws on them and say, what about us? Why are you leaving us out? I call it the Cinderella Project, okay? And we deserve better treatment and a better golf course. I've had pictures and I submitted all this to the mayor. Uneven paths for the golf carts, no seating by the front gate or where you were for a tee. There wasn't even water at the 4th hole. So we gave them a wish list, and it was very simple. From how about some patio furniture out in the front? How about getting some water at the 4th hole? Possibly a solar-powered vending machine. And we gave them a list, and the last thing on the list was a new place to eat and meet with food. Now we started with the simple, and then we wanted to the last, and we gave them enough time. Think about it. In Westmont, you have 2 places maybe to pick from to have like a conference or a buffet, a crowd come in for a fundraiser or something, and it's Papa Bizarro's and Zazzo's. If you can think of something else, let me know. All right? But if you go to Meadow Creek Golf Course in Addison, they have like a 5-star dining. I go there often. Why? I go there for the luncheons. I go there for fundraisers. I go there for trivia night. They have it in the fall and the winter. I know what they have. It's fine dining, a beautiful patio with flowers and nice, comfortable furniture. We have nothing. So please, speak out for Westmont. And at least get us on the budget. Like I said, we have to wait 2 to 3 years just for irrigation, which they need, by the way, because there's quite a lot of flooding. And that's my report. And if you want pictures or whatever, I don't know where to post them. And the list, it's pretty long, but you start you're big and then see if you can get something out of it. What am I going to say? Oh, and one other thing. I am here also to report that the 708 referendum that I've been pleading with you guys for the mental health board, we handed in our petitions, our committee, to the Downers Grove Township clerk. We had 4,742 petitions, and we only needed 2,000. They got the petitions, and they voted yes to put it on the ballot. So it will be on the ballot in November. I'm still asking you guys, this board, to make it official from here, saying you endorse it. Because it is a bill for compassion, for caring. And we all know somebody, including maybe the person in the mirror, that we need some mental health help in our community. So thank you, and that's my news.
Thank you for coming. Congratulations on all your efforts with that referendum. I know you worked hard on it, and thanks for the information and your report on the Forest Preserve. I shared it with staff, and we'll get it out to the board to see. They did put in their time and put in a lot of effort, so we'll reach out to our Forest Preserve representatives that we deal with and make sure that they know of our concerns too, because you're right, that facility is a little dated. So thank you for pointing it out, and hopefully we find something for Westmont you could help us with, because I love your energy, and you and your friend don't mess around, so thanks for all your effort. Okay, well, moving right on, I don't think we have any more open forums reports. The first one for mine is, speaking of special events, Taste of Westmont recap. Holy cow, I want to thank everybody that was involved in this year's Taste of Westmont for all their hard work. I think it was and I'm going to go on a limb, I think it was one of the best ones, if not the best Taste of Westmont we had. I've never seen that many people in downtown Westmont. I don't know about everybody else up here, but it was a sight to be seen. I remember getting up on stage and looking out and going, oh my God, what am I doing right now? Because it was intense, but it was a lot of fun. The village board support, I think you made because of your support, we just had an event that families, I know I'll remember for my life, but just a remarkable community event. When everybody, there was no troublemakers. It was just exactly what I envisioned. I told the manager I'd gone through that night, just sitting at that beer garden and looking out and seeing everybody having a heck of a time. That's what this role is all about and what community is all about. Special Events is already working on next year, and we hope to continue down this path of providing great entertainment. So it's something for us to think about and talk about soon if we want to continue with some big bands like we did this time, which I think was pretty well received. I do want to say that was probably one of the very few days I got 0 complaints from anybody, even from some notorious complainers. We're just having fun and happy, so hopefully we can do that more often, because that was a breath of fresh air. But again, thank you. Just a heck of an just an awesome weekend, and thank you, Linda. I know you volunteer a lot there. It just was, it was awesome. Best one I've been to ever, and I've been to quite a few of them. So couldn't be more proud of the village. And that is all I have. Village Clerk Simsky.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Just an update on the annual Westmont Community Garage Sales, coordinated by Westmont Special Events Organization. Reminder, they are scheduled for August 7th, 8th, and 9th. Details are on the village website, and that is all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Johanna Guzzo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next Fire Public Safety Committee meeting is November 12th, 4:30 here at Village Hall. Everyone is invited to attend. And the Kids Safety Camp, the classes are full. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Scales is absent. Just next Community Development Committee meeting will be September 17th. And I do want to highlight, do not forget, permit fee waiver program, September 1st through October 31st. Online express permits are at no charge to the applicant, so take advantage of that awesome program. And moving on to trustee trustee Perilli, who's also absent. A couple big updates. The biggest one is the new elevated water tower logo painting began today. Check it out. I drove by it but didn't notice anything yet, so they're probably still getting it set up. Manager Gunther was out there yesterday, the day before, making adjustments on the position, and Director Reese. We got some good footage, so it's just a cool project. I can't wait to see it, and hopefully we get some good drone footage from our manager, maybe of them painting it or not. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but he's good at that, so we'll see. And that is all I have for her. There's some other construction updates, but you could view those on the website. Our next Public Works Committee meeting is August 20th, and I will pass it over to Trustee Plowman.
Thank you, Mayor. The next Police Public Safety Committee meeting is on August 6th here at the building at 4:30. Citizens Police Academy, the registration is now open. Details are on the village website. Police Department National Night Out is August 4th. This block-style party event is an annual community building event that promotes positive partnerships between law enforcement and the community. There's a bunch of things for kids to do there. There's a lot of sponsorship tables, and I know the Lions are supplying the hot dogs and buns for that event too. So it's a great time to get to mingle then with our law enforcement. Also, just to make mention, the Lions Club sold out like 2 days out of the corn during the Taste of Westmont, so it was a great problem to have. So thank you to all the volunteers that took place in that. And I'd just like to mention one other thing. The Westmont Historical Society turns 50 years old this year. So in doing so, they're having a murder mystery dinner at the Oakbrook Hilton, and that's on October 10th. So I just wanted folks to just put that on your calendar. Tickets will go on sale soon. It's $75, which it includes dinner and the drinks and the entertainment, and it should be a great time. But just to mention, if folks have not been to the Gregg House in a while, Westmont is famous for other things than just muddy waters. You know, we're unique in our community, and we got a lot of things going on, and a lot of our history. As far as the brick involvement for the Chicago Fire and the Gregg family. But if you check out the museum once in a while, or just try to promote it for other folks to take a look, these people work hard at preserving that and working. They have a lot of volunteers in that. So just wanted to mention 50 years, that's a big deal. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Heck of a big deal, yeah. Trustee Little.
Thank you, Mayor. We had an Administration Finance Committee meeting tonight. Some of the things that we went over were establishing a new proclamation policy. Proclamations are to be used as a celebration of whatever you're interested in, and they have to have something to do with either a Westmont event or brought forth by a Westmont resident or a business. All this information will be available to everybody, residents, as soon as we have it all put together and policy in place and voted on, and everything will be good. We did go over our 2027 calendar. There'll be a little bit new formatting, but we'll get to that in 2027, obviously. The next thing that we talked about was the Izakaya Tokyo mural, which is going to go on the old China Chef building. There's a lot of information that's going to be coming out on that before too long. It looks like it's going to be very, very exciting and very pretty as well. We did do some work on TIF designations for the South, the Central, and South Central, and we also talked about a TIF relocation grant. There's a potential for that coming up in the near future on our board meeting. So those are things that are discussed today. One of the other things that I wanted to let you know is don't forget cruising nights every Thursday night from 5 to 9 on Cass Avenue. Special Events has posted all new themes. Check it out on their website, westmontevents.com. We do have concerts going on in the park. The band Industrial Drive will be playing Wednesday, August 12th at Veterans Memorial Park at 7 o'clock. And then last, Movies Under the Stars. The next movie will be August the 7th, Friday, at Veterans Memorial Park at 8:30, and they will be showing the movie Air Bud. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. The next Environmental Improvement Committee will be August 3rd at the Westmont Library. And then we have electronics recycling event coming up on August 29th from 8 o'clock to noon out here in the lot across from Village Hall. Many items are collected for free of charge. However, some items require a fee. So please see the village website for complete details. And then another event that we're promoting is the Vision and Vibe Fest on September 12th and 13th in Veterans Park. Wonderful couple of days there of arts and music as we celebrate all of that we have here in Westmont and in this area. Last year was our first one. We know this is going to be bigger and better than before, and we urge everybody to take advantage of that. It's a nice way to, wind down from summer there in September. The weather was beautiful last year. We expect the same thing. That is all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our reports. We'll go right into, if there are any items to be removed from the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll ask our manager Gunther to please read the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. For tonight's consent agenda, item A, board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held July 9th, 2026. Item B is finance ordinance number 15 in the amount of $4,105,019.88. We have two purchase orders. First one is for MES1 acquisitions, the amount of $90,600. This is for 24 individual firefighter protective clothing, also known as turnout gear. And the second item is SB Friedman in the amount of $48,640. And this is for the TIF downtown designation that we spoke about at committee. The total purchase orders is $139,240. And the total of purchase orders in finance ordinance number 15 is $4,244,459.88. And that concludes the consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Plowman?
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Okay, Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Moving right on to unfinished business. A, 1 North Cass ComEd relocation construction deposit. Board to consider an ordinance approving a construction deposit for the 1 North Cass ComEd relocation. Director Reese.
Oh boy, here we are, the date that we have been waiting for almost 10 years. So here we are, we're on the verge of construction of ComEd coming and moving the line. So about a year and a couple months ago, we paid them the advance payment for the engineering deposit. They have been working on the engineering for all this time, even before that a little bit. The remaining item that is left for the engineering is to receive the BNSF permit to cross the train tracks with the new relocated line. So at this time, we would have to pay them a construction deposit of $1.6 million, and they will schedule a crew to come and do the relocation as soon as they get the BNSF permit. So the agreement specifies that they will begin the relocation within 2 weeks of either the BNSF permit or our payment, whichever is later. So the construction estimate this time is approximately $2 million, and they will either bill us or refund us, whatever the difference is of their actual costs. So,
Can we take as long to pay them as they did to do the project?
well, I said that to them. I'm like, look, you need to give us a start date before
Yeah,
we're going to give
good.
you this money. And that's how we came up with they will start 2 weeks.
My comment where the start date was the third date that they came up. But it did finally happen, and in the end, they subbed it out to another contractor.
Yeah, they have looked at doing that for this project also to get it done faster. We could sit on the check a little bit longer until we get more of assurances or we find out more information about the
Don't give them an
BNSF permit.
excuse. Don't give them an
But
excuse.
there's a, there's a lot of pressure on them to get this done, so,
Good.
and we're meeting with them again tomorrow to ask them about the status of the BNSF permit. We're talking to our contacts at BNSF, trying to get this moving, so it's very exciting. I feel like we're finally there, so
So is it 2 weeks from the approval of this and the BNSF permit?
whichever one is later, because they can't do anything until they get the BNSF permit.
So we don't have that permit yet, right?
Nope.
So how far out you think we are to start, if you had to guess?
September at the soonest
Yeah.
would be my estimate.
Would it be done this year, or would it go? into
Yeah,
next
he
year?
said it would be about 3 or 4 weeks from the time they start until.
That's all it is, huh?
Yep.
10 years to plan a 3-week project. Nice.
It's it's
Gotta
been a
love
very
it.
long time, but we're
Unless
very
there's a rain
excited.
cloud in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
The timeline.
Pray for good
Say
weather.
that.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Plowman?
Second Little?
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, moving in the new business surplus property fleet, Board to consider an ordinance to declare certain age vehicles as surplus property. Directories?
There's 7 vehicles on this list. There's a mix of police, some public works vehicles. I believe one of these might even be a fire vehicle to be declared as surplus.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Guzzo.
Second Little?
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, moving on to B, Chapter 80 text amendments. Board to consider an ordinance approving amendments to Chapter 80, Article 1, Section 80-5 of the Westmont Code of Ordinances regarding nuisance vegetation. Director Hennerfein.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So we spoke about this briefly at the CDC 2 weeks ago. So this is a text amendment. The village has the ability to enter people's properties in order to take down nuisance trees and mow grass when necessary. It was kind of written generically for both those, and it was written with a kind of a long timeline because trying to get someone to take a tree down takes a little time to orchestrate. However, we found that it is very limiting when we decide that someone has a blighted property and the grass needs to be cut. It basically means that there's a 14-day notice, the notice of violation, and then another 7 days before we can enter the property. Our proposal is to advance that from 14 to 7 days, and then after you get through that violation to, rather than 7 days to enter the property, to go to 2 days. There is a little discrepancy. Your agenda center does say 2 days, which is what we're proposing, but the materials that I had forwarded as attachments, we were still in a bad mood. It said 7 days and 1 day. We decided to rethink that and go with 2 days to be more sympathetic. I do want to mention that this is an extreme. We are not in the business of cutting people's lawns. Usually by the time we get to this point, we've already taken a property through adjudication, which takes a month or 2 to get through. And then the grass is still there, no one's still mowed it, and then we want to move quickly to enter the property and try to control that blight and take care of it. So usually this is at the end of a long process, and we want to move quickly once we haven't gotten any results in trying to work with the property owner. I can answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Little?
Second Guzzo.
Any questions or comments?
I just point out there's a state statute that allows the village to enter onto private property to cut nuisance vegetation like tall grass if an owner refuses to do so after reasonable notice. It doesn't say what that notice has to be. I think it's as long as it's reasonable. And the 7-day notice here is more than reasonable under the circumstances. Otherwise, the grass will just keep growing.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Yep, moving on. C, non-enforcement of recapture agreements. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing the non-enforcement of recapture agreements for Fairfield 5 and Fairfield 7 subdivisions. Attorney Zemanek.
Thank you. This item's described in pretty good detail on your agenda. It was also discussed at the committee meeting this evening. In short, there's 2 recapture agreements dating back to 2011 that if the village were to enforce them and collect recapture payments from properties that connect to village water. There's no entity to whom to pay the recapture fees because the developer, the owner of the developer company passed away, the company dissolved, and the recapture fees aren't assignable or binding on any successor company. And the agreements provide that the village has no legal obligation to enforce the recapture agreements. The recapture agreements are recorded against title to 11 different properties, so it encumbers their title and it might dissuade these properties from connecting to village water, knowing they have to pay these recapture fees. This ordinance says the village is not going to enforce these two recapture agreements for the reasons stated in the ordinance and that I just described, and it would be recorded against title to these 11 properties, so they have some certainty that there's no fees for them to pay.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Plowman?
Second Little?
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Plowman?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, moving on to D, grand finale. Amendment to conditions and annexation ordinance. Board to consider an ordinance approving an amendment to the conditions for connecting to village water contained in annexation ordinance number 25-041 as to certain properties. And Attorney Zemanek.
Thank you. This item was also discussed at the committee meeting tonight, and long and short of it is when the village annexed these properties in 2025, it imposed about 8 conditions or triggers under which these properties would have to connect to village water. The village was unaware that these 4 properties that were annexed are on a community well, and that if one of the properties, for example, is sold and disconnects and disables that community well, the other 3 properties would not have potable water and would adversely impact them. So this ordinance amends the conditions to remove all of the conditions for connecting to village water, except in the event the community well no longer is functioning or is collectively abandoned, etc. I know there's one interested member of the public who I don't know if she wants to make comments, but that's the long and the short of it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Barker.
For roll call, should we open it to public?
Yes, see if she wants.
Would you like to come up, say anything while you're here?
I could, should I, before you make your final decision? Would that be-
If you want to put the pressure on us, sure. Come on up to the podium, yeah. You came here, you might as well say hello.
No, I'm trying to help my clients. So, my name's Laura Bowski. I'm a real estate agent with Baird & Warner. I think I was the one that kind of instigated this situation. I work with a lot of properties around Westmont and Willowbrook and vacant land. I'd been working with this individual for 2 years. He was interested in selling the property. Right before we got to the point where he was going to sell it, he had a major heart issue, and this was last November. So Christmas Eve, I get a call from him. Laura, I need your help. So I listed the property, and I knew we were going to have a problem with this well, but I didn't know to the extent of it. We had contracts on the property, but due to the situation that if we abandon the well, the other people could put a lawsuit on the potential buyer. So it's causing a hardship in him selling the property. We don't want to hurt these other people. I've even gone to the extent to try to get pricing on the cost of them connecting to your services. I'm waiting for those numbers. So I'm trying to be cooperative, but yet help my client. So I don't know what you guys can do to help him so his property's not like being held hostage with this well situation, and we'd really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
And
And I would just respond that, the current owner of the property was aware of the community well and this 1958 agreement that's recorded against title to the property and the 3 other properties. And any potential buyer, this is on title, would be aware of it also. The ordinance that you're considering does not authorize any one property to unilaterally destroy this community well. All it says is if the well stops functioning essentially or is abandoned, you've got to connect to village water. If a new buyer wanted to destroy the community well, they do so at their own risk.
Fair enough, thank you.
And this is a situation where you know that area is developing with all the new construction. So I got a contract on the property actually yesterday, and it meets all of our requirements, pending what the decision is here. And I probably need to talk to John about a couple of things. So, and also I just want to mention, full disclosure, this property's in foreclosure. So this man has just layers and layers and layers of stress on him. And I would also ask the board for this consideration. There's been various violations put against this property since he is not there anymore. The overgrown grass, there's a vehicle on the property that I got a quote yesterday for the removal of that. And there's a violation on the house, the roof, I think the lawn, and the vehicle. I would just ask for your consideration for my client that these fees would not be mounting up, so that when we go to sell the property on August 21st, we have the closing date pending on today. If we can take that property, the contract that came in yesterday, could you consider waiving any of those fees for him?
I think it might be appropriate if, after this, if you want to talk to our community development director right there, his name is Joe Hennerfine, and you could walk through some of those considerations with him. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, do you have any questions, or?
Thank you for coming,
Okay,
appreciate
thank you.
it.
Thank you for your consideration.
All right, absolutely. We have a motion in a second. Any board members have questions, comments?
I may have a
Trustee
question.
Plummer.
So are there, you said there are 4 properties attached to this community well, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so, and we're talking about only 1 out of the 4. So what happens then if other folks want to, so what is it, how does it affect the other 3 now at this point again?
So let's say one of the other 3 properties wanted to connect to village water, and the community well is located on only 1 property. So it's not on, let's say it's not on their property. They have every legal right to disconnect from the community well and tap into village water. The real encumbrance is on the property that has the community well on their property with easement or similar rights for these other properties to connect to it. And that's the property that there was at least one interested buyer who wanted to subdivide the property, abandon the community well, and develop it. And, you know, I'm telling Laura, this real estate agent, the village is not going to grant permission for the owner to do that because there's legal rights involved. That's up to, you know, this buyer, if he buys the property, and the other 3 property owners to figure out. And this ordinance doesn't authorize that in any way, shape, or form. All it says is if the community well fails or is abandoned, you've got to connect to village water.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Plotman?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, do anybody have any miscellaneous items? Hearing none, we don't have a request for executive session, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Little?
Second Plowman?
Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Plotman?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
All right, have a great night. This meeting is adjourned.